Hello, everybody. Hello, Gravitrons. I'm More Gravity. Let's play chess. Okay. Let's review that. I'm gonna review that game of chess. Okay, maybe this is a little bit too sloppy. Look at all these non-green moves. The game might have been a little bit too sloppy to get into uh, too directly or too much, but the game just around here became reasonably complicated and tactical. I wanted to maybe uh, scorch out some of Black's most active options by playing b3 here. It's a quiet but important move in the game, and it helps keep the knight on a5 in control. Like I said, the computer has spotted so many errors in mostly tactical play here that I don't really want to go through it move by move. What can I learn from this? Me, because I'm not going to be teaching this game. But here, game position like this, even as h5 is fine, h6 is fine. Around here's when I realize I'm going to have to find a way to cover the h8 square in order to promote this pawn. This black has that square very solidly covered. The move d5, and then we back into the left with the magic b file for bullet, b for bullet, and then my opponent moves forward with d4. White can now play rook to e7. I think I do play rook to e7, showing the right idea. Oh, George, what did you do here? And capturing is still fine, but a little bit out of whack here, right? We're not moving to the c4 square. The pawn will outpace us. So king to c3. I'm gonna show this to show the win that I let slip. I ended up winning the game anyway due to timeout, so I'll take it, I guess. I don't know. King to c3, and now the pawn is within grasp. Now notice king to c3, king to e4, pawn to f3 check isn't necessary. That's not the right line anyway. So okay, but king to e3, king to e4, and then white plays king to d2. There's no way to budge white's king from in front of the pawn, and black's king is way too far away, way outside of the pawn, the square of the pawn, way outside of the square of the pawn. With the h pawn becoming a queen, and white will win. That was that. Then, as far as progressing as a player, after I knew king c4 was a blunder right away. Right, I was anticipating now. Pawn to d2. King c2 is the type of blunders you see under extreme time pressure, 13.8 and so on. I had fewer than 14 seconds on my clock, in my defense even. And so pawn to d2, I thought for a second, wait a minute. This does not need to be the end of the game. He'll queen, but I'll queen immediately thereafter, and with check, a la Waitzkin, a la Searching for Bobby Fischer. That's the tactic that allows the character Josh Waitzkin to win a certain. It doesn't matter. Look, sorry for the spoiler, but d1 equals queen, h8 equals queen, check, and like the progress bar shows, this is pretty much a draw. One side or the other will be able to get perpetual checks, and I ended up winning the game based on abandoned game here. It says resign. It's yeah. It was so I ended up winning the game. This part's a draw on the board, right? There's no way that I can continuously stop my opponent from giving check after check after check. At least I don't think so. So that's why you see Torch's outputs, they're all zeroed out. So I don't know, it's a different kind of feel good win. So I won the game due to abandonment, but I kind of botched it earlier in an upsetting way. So I feel good that I got the win. Let's play another game. All right. Uh, Bit of a losing streak there. It's nice to finish on a win. Let's review this game. So, I'm gonna review this game, but I'm not gonna play any more games this broadcasting session. I might be broadcasting again around 6:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7 p.m., something like that. This is a close game. Initial impressions: close game, a lot of action, a lot of tactics, real fun. Let's see how things could have been different or the same or whatever. And here we go. Add the white pieces. Built a large center early. D4, then E5. So I closed the position to block his bishop in. This bishop's now hitting against the E5 pawn. Looks like his position is now, this bishop isn't as strong as it could be, so I feel okay with that. On the other hand, now there's a hole on D4, but then again, black can't really access that hole very well, so I feel good about the move. Pawn to D5 on move 4. So one way to start a pawn storm is to start early. Pawn to H4, pawn to H5. Right, this is pretty early for a pawn storm here in the first, actually before the 10th move. H6 wasn't that good. It leaves the initiative in white's hands for start, and just structurally, black doesn't need a luft quite yet. Usually this bishop's going to be in play to the extent where G7 will be a luft, but pawn to H6, I don't know. Look at this position and see if you can maybe think of a better move for black. Capturing on the G file, recaptures on the G file. Now white shows its strength with bishop takes H6. And pawn. Now my opponent might have recaptured, and white would have a very strong attack very early. So wisely, the move C6, kind of a waiting move. There were more active moves available, I'd say, but black is really cramped here. Bishop D7 as the most active move available to black's light squared bishop. The knight's not going anywhere anytime soon, so it's understandable. For instance, knight to D7 blocks in the light squared bishop, and bishop to D7 looks kind of anemic. Like that bishop should be going somewhere elsewhere on the board. So black's minor pieces on the starting squares are at odds with each other. That's the word, at odds with each other. So C6 might try to address some of that. Pawn takes C6, knight takes C6, and all of a sudden black's in it. I didn't go for that, as this is not relevant for my kingside attack. Queen D2 is a strong move, an experienced move, and the right move in this position. Get your queen involved in the attack on black's king. Captures towards the center. White has the center locked down. It's going to be very difficult for black to launch any kind of attack against white's king. First of all, because he's not castled kingside, he's not castled queenside, he's still in the center, and he can choose to castle one or the other. It's a hard target to hit. It's hard to hit a moving target. Bishop G4. It's not a great move. I found the response. Bishop takes G7. I'm thinking we've had these bishops staring at each other for since move 10, and My opponent knows better than to capture my bishop. He's demonstrated that through patience, and so I'll initiate with bishop takes g7, king takes g7, and white's attack is underway. Now notice you see white's attack is not as strong as what we looked at a while back. It's a good attack, not a crushing attack. This is not a crushing attack. How do I know? Well, mostly the king has the f7 square, so just having one, even possibly two amazing squares to which black can flee. I mean, g8 though, but then queen to h7 check, and then f7, and maybe the queen's gotta retreat a bit. Okay, yeah, all right. Two squares at least need calculation to understand whether black is fleeing to f7 or if black is fleeing to g8. Here, black chose f7. Computer agrees, so let's roll with that. Bishop on the e2 wasn't helping all that much. We throw a piece into the attack. Moves like bishop to e6, check, are coming. My opponent finds knight takes g4. Not exactly sure. This might have been a bit of a miscue here. Oh, because I captured the bishop in the process. Fine. Knight is required to move from the knight. Black's knight is required to move from his spot at f6 to recoup a full piece of material, and this lets open a strong. Now we have a strong attack. Queen h7 check. King to f7. King to e8 is you could consider it. Then doesn't the knight fall to queen takes g6 check when the king moves again? White has black's g4 knight. Right? That's about right. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay. So instead of king to e8, king to f6. My opponent's finding the correct move here. Finding the correct move under pressure. Now the machine is critical of knight to g3. My idea is just throw in another attacker. Black has to do something, and accurately so, to stop moves like queen h4 check, followed by queen takes g5 check. If you get it, the knight needs to be there for that, because when the block, if I enter a move like knight d7 is a good one, queen h4 check, right? It's not good if the knight is like way over here, because then black plays g5 and there's a block and a counterattack. With the knight from g1 to f3, I'm defending my move choice, yes. With the knight from g1 to f3, queen to h4 check is extremely important. g5, and white can meet with queen takes g5 check. Although I'm seeing here now, even with the knight back here, it's here with white to move. Yeah, queen h4 check was the move. We put black's king in check, and now we're still grabbing the knight on g4. So definitely, yeah, I'd say that was a miscue on the order of a mistake here. Maybe a miss, or maybe probably a mistake. When I played the wrong move. I played knight f3 thinking that I wanted g5 as a square to put black in check. The better move was was queen to h4. You know, this is a better move. There's all these diagrams. Well, I'm actually just gonna show here. This was the best move. Knight takes f2, king takes f2, queen b6 checks. So yeah, this miss on g4 is leading to a counterattack by black. In situations like this, though, I'm in check. You could try to search for the best escape possible for white, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be any square that doesn't lead immediately to a follow-up check. Queen takes b2 is a check, you know, but I'm moving to g3 because black doesn't have a follow-up check. And I might say, well, e1 is like that. Well, first of all, no, because of queen to e3 check. But also, you might say e1. Yeah, all right. If it were, but it's not. So, knight to g3, or sorry, king to g3. Any square where there's no follow-up check, the white queen cannot check him there. Not even unsafely. Safely? No, definitely no, but not even unsafely. None of black's pieces can reach. So for that reason I played king g3. I'm confident enough in my attack that I'll have the battle won after king g3 at some point, not necessarily right away. My opponent sort of hurried things along those ways. It's not sure that this is such a bad move because that knight has to get into the game somehow, and it's going to take all that time. So why not try to slip one past my vision and put knight to d7. Maybe white won't realize queen takes d7. I did realize, and it also comes with a strong follow-up attack. Queen to e6 check. King to g7. This almost a sacrifice on h7. h7 check. King takes h7. h7 check. King takes h7. Queen takes f7 check. And it's mate in one because now white has rook to h1 checkmate. I enjoyed playing this game. It was a good game. I played well. I thought my opponent played well. Some only good move under pressure moves, at least two of those. So I had fun playing this game. He's got a picture of Tupac there going on, and that's fine. Okay. Thank you for watching. I'm More Gravity. Thank you, Gravitrons. Have a great night.